Hello everyone, and welcome to the first F2 Micro Championship. So this is a little series idea I've had then, and if you guys like it, do let me know, and I will carry it on as a series to do an F2 Championship, but over the course of one weekend only. So that's one F2 weekend. It's a feature race, then a sprint race with a reverse front 8 of the grid from the results in the feature race. And that's it. You get 2 points for a fastest lap in each race, 4 points for pole, but I will not be qualifying. I will be starting from the very back of the grid. And then we'll see how we do in the championship at the end of it. So as I said, this is the first one. Do let me know if you like it. So we are starting from the very back of the grid, 20th out of 20. We're going to be in the ART, but of course equal cars in F2 anyway. On the starts then, 5 lights and they're out and we are away. Then it's almost a full throttle start in the F2 cars. They haven't got very much torque at all. Getting off the line there reasonably well. We're already up to more or less P19. We'll have a look at the inside of everyone, I think, into the first turn, but we don't want to brake too late. We have got simulation damage on, and we do actually make a bit of contact, but luckily don't get any damage from it. They squeezed me quite a lot there, and I just get loads of oversteer, desperate to get on the power on the exit to try and overtake some more people, but unfortunately ended up losing some positions. But up to P17 at least now, so we have still gained 3 positions from the start. That's not too bad, but a lot of positions to gain. We're going to have a dive up the inside of Lorandi there. And Jack Aitken is going to be next, so solid move there, and dive at the inside of Jack Aitken, then absolutely no messing about at this point. And I don't even know some of these names. Makino, this is of course the 2018 F2 cars, and up to P15 now. And what we're really aiming for is 8th or higher in this race. As I said, it's reverse grid, but only for the top 8. So if we're in 8th position in this race, we'll be in pole position for the next race. But it is also half points for the sprint race. So we have a little look up the inside there, but think better of that. End up locking the tyre. We sort of half went for it and then decided better of it. We knew we were going to lose our front wing. So coming through then, the very fast right-handers. We're trying to go at the outside, but no, that's not going to work. We run clean out of road. We have to just embrace it there. We are pretty much taking the F2 mentality to track limits and to driving standards in this series. So a little bit lenient, quite aggressive, and of course we have to be. It is just 5 laps in this race, as you will have seen in the top right-hand corner of your screens. 3 laps will be the next race, so it will also be a sprint. It will be shorter. And yeah, I've really enjoyed recording this. I hope you guys are going to enjoy watching it. I really do want to do it as a series, but that does require your guys' support. So don't forget to drop a like and potentially leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And yeah, we'll see how we get on. Of course, subscribe if you're new as well. Up to P14 now then. Already done the first lap though, so we're already a fifth of the way through this race, to over 20% through this race already. And we've got Delatraz up next. We again think about going up the inside there, but think better of it. And that's actually very easy to lock your tyres in these F2 cars, I find. Because we dive at the inside of Delatraz there, make the move stick. That was very, very aggressive, but we have to be. We've only got 5 laps. We want to overtake at least 12 cars, so we have to be ultra aggressive. And interestingly, I find out you do tend to want to avoid the curbs in this track. Just did run a little bit wide there, but you get frustratingly little traction on the curbs, which isn't really that realistic. It's a bit annoying, but anyway, up to P13 now. I have never seen that name before in my life. I do occasionally keep up with a bit of F2 driving, but Bokalaki, we'll go with that. You let me know in the comments how badly I've pronounced his name and how I should pronounce it. We managed to stay on the track this lap at least, but we do also gain time on P12, we'll call him, and we're nice and close now. I suspect we're going to dive up the inside here. Yes, we are. Late braking, want to be wheel to wheel by the time you get to the apex, otherwise you just turn in on you and you damage your wing, which you managed to do nicely, and just about stay on the track as well. Up to P12 now, and again, it's top 10. The points are the same as F1 in this feature race, so points for top 10, 25 for a win, 1 point for a P10, literally exactly the same as F1, and then the sprint race, as I said, is half points. So P12, we need to gain, like I said, ideally in P8, that will give us half chance, but realistically, as the sprint race is half points, we need to be a bit higher than that. P8 isn't probably going to be enough, unless we can get 2 fastest laps. Maybe that'll help us, but 25 points is a lot to overcome from whoever wins this race, and then of course he will then start in P8 next race to have a great chance of some more points. Lots of oversteer on the curve there though. We're now closing in on Galeo. I do know that name. And just lost a little bit of time for that last corner though. We're going to say have a look at the inside into this corner, but that is not going to be possible. And just you see me battling with the car constantly there. This is actually quite a tricky car to control, particularly when the turbo kicks in. Nice and slow through the almost hairpin. Back on the power. We know we can gain quite a lot of them through this turn. Keep it in 4th gear for best rotation. Keep it nice and tight. Stay out of the dirty air, which I've managed to do nicely. First I've managed to do that. So able to get the throttle a little bit earlier than those guys. And look how much again. And actually dive on the inside of Sean Galeo there. And well, kind of managed to make the move stick. We didn't run very wide, but he is now up our inside, so we're going to roll with it. Going to leave him plenty of room on the inside, try and get better exit than in, which we don't manage to do. He squeezes us on the exits while we both got DRS. So even though we did take a big extension there, we are going to roll with it. He's now back ahead of us. We are very close indeed. He's very close to the inside as well. Really good racing from the AI there, I have to say. Going to go try and go on the outside, get it turned onto second gear. We want to try and cut back under him, but weren't able to do that. And he's actually managed to take the move back from us there. We're going to try and go on the outside. For some reason, the AI back off very slightly for this corner. We are on 106 AI for this particular race because I'm quite new to the game, still learning the limits of everything. So I suspect I'll be in 110 AI relatively soon, but for now, just rolling with 106 just so we don't have to spend all our time practicing and not recording and commentating for you guys. But anyway, managed to make the move stick on Galil there in the end. Got Gunther next. And hopefully we'll be able to make a move stick on him. And again, just quite a lot of... Oh, wow. Lots of oversteer there. As I start to talk about track limits, but then just get a load of oversteer. But yeah, again, I take quite a slack view to track limits really on this particular race. Just not too worried. Again, I'm not really willing to put in the hours of practice. Literally, you know, spend an hour or two practicing for a 5-lap sprint race. And of course I've used the short circuits, and I actually haven't mentioned yet interestingly, but I thought it'd be a bit better for these cars. They are a bit slower, so it should give extra for some better racing. And we do get a warning there for exceeding track limits that time, as we're now starting to be really quite naughty with track limits, just really pushing it hard. I'm going to dive at the inside of Gunther here though, wheel to wheel contact, that's what you need. If there's going to be any contact, it has to be wheel to wheel, otherwise you do lose a front wing. Simulation damage, as I mentioned before, you do lose the front wing very easily indeed, as we're already on the 5th lap of the race then, 5 of 5, the last lap. And we're only in P10, so that scored us 1 point, but we need to be in P8 really. Can we get the next 2 cars in 1 lap? I think it might be a bit of an ask. I think we've got a solid chance of getting P9 up ahead. P8 might be a bit of an ask, so a bit unfortunate because P8 will be started on pole for the next race, so that's not entirely gone to plan, but you can see we're pushing now, really taking it to the limits of track limits without trying to cut too much and run very wide. We do run off the track there, but there's not a lot of grip out there. Didn't want to do that. Thought about having a dive at the inside, but I thought better of that. I'm going to try and stick nice and close to him, so have a look at the inside of the next turn, but no, he's managed to have quite a good exit from us out of the exit that last corner. So again, just trying to stick close, but not able to get the exits. I do struggle with the exits compared to the AI in F2 for some reason. I don't know if it's just my throw application or some sort of advantage they have with just being a computer controlled driver, but big lock up there, pushes us very wide. That's pretty much put pay to our possibility of getting P9. P8 was always out the window, wasn't it? And again, just run too wide there. I'm just a bit too desperate here, just trying to use too much of the track, just really trying to make something work, and it's just not working out for me, as we can gain some time on him in the next couple of turns, but I suspect we'll be a little bit too far back. And yes, we are going to be too far back. That is way too far back for a lunge, even in F2, as we now come across the line frustratingly close to the car up ahead. But that is P10 for our very first race, and only a single point. Didn't get the fast lap either, so that is the only point we're going to get, which actually means it is technically possible to win the championship in the next race. But anyway, we will do it anyway, because I tell you what, the next race is a good, and it's a 3-lap sprint, and we start in P10, and we'll have a great chance there. We managed to go from P20 to P10, which is 10 positions, and we're now 10 positions or 9 positions away from P1. So this is going to be good. And right in the middle of the pack now, we've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, almost full throttle, as you see in the bottom right hand corner there, and then more or less go into full throttle quite quickly after we start to stop the car bogging down too much in F2. Bit of wheel spin off the line, but we'll get away with that, as there's a car coming our inside there, but we see him too late to do anything about it. He's actually up our inside, and he's got the move stick. Is he going to cause a big crash? No, he isn't. Galil there, making a great move up the inside. I don't know where he started from. Must have been about P12, but he's ended up in P5. So really aggressive with us there, but we ended up still been able to take a few positions up the inside and up to P6, which is actually a great start despite losing a position off the grid. We'll certainly take P6 from P10 on the grid. And I'm going to look up the inside of Galil here, really aggressive, right on the power, going to brake later than him, get it all slowed down, and that will do. That was super aggressive. You saw me with the wheel there, just soaring it everywhere, just desperately trying to get on the power, bit of oversteer, trying to control it all, and we made the move stick up to P5. That is the sort of aggression we are going to need to get anywhere near the win of this race. It is only a 3-lap race. We haven't even got any DRS. The DRS is activated on the final lap, but there is no mid-track DRS zone, so we'll get DRS for the sort of 50-meter run to the line at the very end of the 3rd lap, which is going to do absolutely nothing. So it is going to be DRS-less overtakes everywhere for this particular track. And again, we ended up in the dirty air there. We back out of it to stay on the racing line, but we don't want to be in the dirty air ideally. But coming up the back of Nicholas Latifi now, coming to the final turn, we managed to make some quite good time up on him. We're now pretty close to him. P4, then we'll be onto the podium after that. But first of all, we need to get past Latifi, as Walco actually does a fastest lap of the race. But we got a 21.7 we could do with the fastest lap. That will help us in the championship, as we think about having a dive inside of Latifi there, but that's just too risky. We need to be aggressive, but not make any silly moves and get any damage. And up through the gears. I'm going to try and look at around the outside of Latifi. They do once again back off. We're going to be wheel to wheel from him coming into the next turn, but he backs out of it. And we will certainly take that Up next is Seta Camera. We're up in P3 now. P4, sorry. P3 is Seta Camera. We're right behind him. We think about having a dive at the inside, but again, just doesn't really quite work at this late stage of the race. The braking zone is not quite long enough. Seta Camera, though, we are going to dive at the inside of him now, though. Can we get it also down? Yes, nicely. Gives us a nice amount of room. Very fair from Seta Camera there. And we're now up to P3. Then 2 more positions to go from the win of the race. We're only just over half through this race. We've gone from P10 to P3, but now we have got the more difficult cars to overtake. Of course, these guys have not got so much dirt yet. They've not got so much traffic. So these will be, in theory, be harder to overtake. We've got Markelov then, Artem Markelov up next. And trying to keep it nice and tight again to avoid the dirt area. We've managed to do nicely. Look at the pace we're gaining on him on the exit here. Do we have a look at the inside? No. Again, think better of it. Don't want to be too aggressive. We've got a whole lap to play with now. We've only got 2 cars to overtake. And again, don't even think about diving at the inside. He was just a bit too tight there. We're going to try and cut back on him, which we managed to do nicely. Can we get on the power? Yes, we can. And that is the first time I've been able to get on the power better than them. I did take a little bit of a corner cut, but we'll ignore that. And actually had a fastest lap of the race as well, 18.6. And actually, Markelov dives back up our inside there. I didn't expect that. I'm not quite used to the AI this year yet. That was very aggressive of him, but we managed to cut back on him once again. Will to on the exit, get a slightly better exit, and hopefully back out of it. Yes, he does indeed back out of it. I think he would have been a bit squeezed by us there. So we're up to P2 now officially. We've got Walco next, who we're trying to close in on for the win. We're up into P2. This is the win of the sprint race, which we absolutely do want. Look at this. Very close behind him now. Think about diving the inside of the gear, but once again, think better of it. Going to try and get a nice line, which we've managed to do. Nicely close to him. Do we have a look at the inside? He is defending quite heavily. We do have a look at the inside, but he's taken a better line than us and actually squeezes us. So we make a bit of contact there, lose a bit of our front wing, and caused us to back right over it and lose wing, and that also now pushing us deep. We've got less front downforce. I think it's probably now going to be more about trying to defend our P2 now. We lost that bit of wing. It does make a little bit of difference. You do certainly feel it in the car. And, well, very fair from actually Falco there. We were quite late on the brakes, and again, just shows fantastic racing from the AI there. He did what a normal driver would do. You squeeze them on the inside, then you dive back to the outside last second, get on the brakes as late as you can, and then just try and squeeze them on the apex. And we actually have a dive on the inside of Falco here. Really late break it out of nowhere, but it didn't quite stick. We're going to dive the inside again. No, we aren't. We're actually going to brake a bit late and lose a bit more of our front wing, but it doesn't matter anymore. We come on the final turn to get our 50 metres of DRS and then cross the line in P2. That is a good result from P10 on the grid. Oh, but I tell you what, that was really close. Really, really good racing from the AI, I have to say. I really enjoyed racing them for this particular video. And as I said, if you enjoyed that racing, please do let me know. Drop a like, drop a subscribe if you're new. Let me know in the comments what you thought. And I will then continue this series if you guys do like it. Confirmation of the results there, P10 to P2 on the grid, 3/10 off the lead in the end, top 3 covered by 7/10 of a second, and we do indeed get the fastest lap of the race by quite some time, actually, by almost a second. But of course, the P8 finish from the last race started P1 in this race, so the faster drivers like Lando Norris, they're down in P8, so he was probably in traffic, not able to get a great lap in, hence our huge speed advantages in that particular race. So time now for the championship standings then. Let's have a little look at those, and there it is then. We are down in P7, so 2 points for the fastest lap, only a single point from the first race, 12 points from the second race, only gives us 15 points. P7 in the end, nowhere near. I think we're going to need to perform quite a bit better than that in future races if we're going to have a chance of getting one of these micro championships. But anyway, as I said, I really enjoyed recording this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching it too. Let me know if you did, and I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.